1984, Russian, is a dystopian novel by George Orwell, first published in 1949. It is the author's most famous and arguably most significant work. The novel explores the consequences of totalitarianism, mass surveillance, and the manipulation of people's minds in a totalitarian society. Orwell, a democratic socialist himself, created a portrayal of a totalitarian state in his novel, drawing inspiration from the experiences of Stalinist Russia and Nazi Germany. The novel depicts total control over citizens, repression of dissent, and the cult of the country's leader, known as Big Brother. This work remains relevant to this day as it addresses issues such as the restriction of personal freedom, the loss of human dignity under the pressure of authority, and the influence of mass media in manipulating public opinion. In his work, Orwell also describes the ritual of worshipping Big Brother known as the 2 minutes hate. This ceremonial event is where citizens express their loyalty and devotion to the leader, while also displaying hatred towards anyone who dares to criticize or question the policies of the ruling regime. Orwell provides several insights into how a totalitarian state could arise, and why people might acquiesce to its inhumane methods in 1984. 1. Manipulation of information. In the novel, the ruling party, led by Big Brother, controls all aspects of information. They manipulate historical records, alter facts, and use propaganda to distort reality and maintain their power. By controlling information, the party shapes public perception and suppresses dissent, making it difficult for people to question or challenge the regime. 2. Fear and surveillance. The totalitarian regime in 1984 employs constant surveillance through devices like telescreens and the thought police. People live in a state of constant fear of being monitored and punished for even minor infractions or rebellious thoughts. This pervasive surveillance instills a sense of helplessness and compliance among the populace, as they fear the consequences of resistance. 3. Indoctrination and propaganda. The regime employs elaborate systems of indoctrination and propaganda to indoctrinate citizens from a young age. Children are taught to worship Big Brother and believe in the party's ideology unquestioningly. Through slogans like "War is peace," "Freedom is slavery," and "Ignorance is strength," the party manipulates language and concepts to control the thoughts and beliefs of the population. 4. Totalitarian cult of personality. The figure of Big Brother represents a cult of personality typical of totalitarian regimes. Big Brother is portrayed as a larger-than-life leader who is revered and worshipped by the citizens. This cult of personality serves to create a sense of unity and loyalty among the populace, as they are encouraged to place their faith and trust in the infallibility of the leader. Overall, Orwell suggests that a totalitarian state could arise through a combination of manipulation, fear, indoctrination, and the creation of a cult of personality. People might agree with this dehumanizing mode of governance due to a combination of coercion, misinformation, and a desire for security and belonging within the system. In George Orwell's novel 1984, the situation depicted can indeed be interpreted as one where people are essentially enslaved by a totalitarian regime. Orwell portrays a dystopian society ruled by a party led by the enigmatic figure known as Big Brother. In this society, individual freedoms are severely restricted, and the government exercises total control over every aspect of citizens' lives. The citizens of this society are subjected to constant surveillance through telescreens, hidden microphones, and the thought police, instilling a pervasive sense of fear and paranoia. Any form of dissent or independent thought is ruthlessly suppressed, often resulting in severe punishment or even death. The regime manipulates historical records and language to maintain its power, effectively erasing the past and controlling the present narrative. Moreover, the party employs various forms of psychological manipulation and propaganda to indoctrinate the population from a young age. Children are taught to idolize Big Brother and report any suspicious behavior exhibited by their peers or family members. This indoctrination creates a culture of fear and suspicion, further reinforcing the regime's control over the minds of its citizens. In 1984, Orwell paints a bleak picture of a society where individuality is suppressed, truth is subjective, and freedom is non-existent. The citizens of this society are essentially reduced to mere cogs in a machine, stripped of their autonomy and humanity. In this sense, the situation described in the book can be seen as one where people are indeed enslaved by a totalitarian regime, trapped in a nightmarish world where resistance seems futile and hope is scarce. To break free from the oppressive system depicted in Orwell's 1984, individuals must first recognize the extent of their subjugation and actively resist the mechanisms of control imposed by the ruling regime. Here are some steps individuals can take to challenge and potentially dismantle such a system. 1. Critical thinking and awareness. The first step is to cultivate critical thinking skills and develop awareness of the manipulation and propaganda employed by the regime. Questioning official narratives, seeking alternative sources of information, and recognizing the tactics used to control thought are crucial. 2. Education and enlightenment. Education plays a vital role in empowering individuals to challenge oppressive systems. By educating themselves about history, politics, and human rights, individuals can better understand the mechanisms of control and identify opportunities for resistance. 3. Building solidarity and resistance networks. Resistance against oppressive regimes is often more effective when individuals come together in solidarity. Building networks of like-minded individuals, forming underground organizations, and fostering a sense of community resistance can amplify voices and strengthen collective action. 4. Civil disobedience and nonviolent resistance. Engaging in acts of civil disobedience and nonviolent resistance can disrupt the functioning of the oppressive system. This may include peaceful protests, strikes, boycotts, and other forms of collective action aimed at challenging unjust laws and policies. 5. Subversion and sabotage. Individuals can also engage in acts of subversion and sabotage to undermine the regime's authority and disrupt its operations. This may involve spreading dissent through underground publications, engaging in acts of sabotage against surveillance systems, or leaking classified information to expose government wrongdoing. 6. Protecting personal privacy and security. Given the pervasive surveillance depicted in Orwell's novel, individuals must take steps to protect their privacy and security. This may include using encryption tools, practicing digital hygiene, and adopting measures to safeguard personal information from government intrusion. 7. Seeking external support. In some cases, seeking support from external entities such as international organizations, foreign governments, or independent media outlets can help shine a spotlight on human rights abuses and apply pressure on the oppressive regime to enact reforms. 8. Preparing for sacrifices and risks. Challenging an authoritarian regime entails risks and potential consequences, including persecution, imprisonment, or even loss of life. Individuals must be prepared to make sacrifices and take calculated risks in their pursuit of freedom and justice. Ultimately, breaking free from the Orwellian system requires courage, resilience, and collective action. By resisting oppression, fostering solidarity, and advocating for human rights, individuals can work towards dismantling oppressive systems and creating a more just and equitable society.